Hello everybody, my name is Richard Vigorelli and this is Vigorelli Institute, and recently I finally finished watching the second half of Battlestar Galactica on Prime. I liked it. Not as much as I did the first half though, okay? And I'll get into why. The biggest thing that drove me crazy was still the shaky cam. I've always hated shaky cam. Just a pet peeve of mine. It's up there with lens flares. And you know who you are. Now, the plot in the second half is... it's basically another day in space type of thing. Okay? The Cylons become less and less of an exterior threat as we get further and further away from the 12 colonies. Okay? Well, a lot of stuff starts going on in the crew. Okay? People start acting weird. Gaius becomes relatively sane. He's still hallucinating. And it also turns out that the Cylon that was his girlfriend that induced the hallucinations of her is also hallucinating him. So that's weird. And second half of season 3, I think it was, we start getting into who is and who is not a Cylon. Well, it turns out that there's an additional 5, totaling 12 Cylons. We know of 7 different ones, and they were all created to fulfill certain roles. Okay, hot Korean chick is a soldier. The hot blonde is an infiltrator, and we'll use the word toy. Lucy Lawless is an infiltrator, political, business, stuff like that. There's another guy who's kind of into control and manipulation. And then the other one, you won't know the series probably. It's called Quantum Leap. He was one of the major characters in that. He's all about thinking things through and logic and all of that. And everybody else was created to basically counterbalance him so that they could have creativity. Lots of stuff going on. Well, come to find out, the other 5 Cylons have all been on the Galactica the whole time. We figure that out in season 4. And they're just kind of random people. It turns out they're 2,000 years old, and they were originally built on Earth. Okay, here's the thing. We come to find out that Earth is a radioactive wasteland because the 13th colony was Earth. And it was all Cylon. And they destroyed themselves. A few survivors got off, and it turns out they forgot and then integrated into human society and just started doing their thing. Pass for human, no problem. So, Kara, otherwise known as Starbuck, gets this thing of, I must find Earth. So she goes off, finds Earth, dies, comes back as, I guess, an angel or a Cylon. I don't know. I never quite understood it. And she's still kind of weird and a bit of a drunk. Anyway, come to find out that the second in command of the Galactica and his wife are both Cylons. The chief of the flight deck is one. Kara's husband is one. Also, this one political advisor chick is one. She's not very nice. Lots of killing, yada yada. So, they're cruising along, and they start going back and forth with the Cylons, talking with them. So what happens is one branch of the Cylons splits off, and they rebel. Because the other stuff is, bent on wiping out humanity, and the other guys go like, wait a minute, we're a lot like them. Maybe we shouldn't do this. So, rebellion, there's the resurrection ship, that gets destroyed. Now death is final for the Cylons. So they realize, oh crap, we may want to become friends. So, they're still trying like the dickens, really, to make the babies. Because they realize that they can't build themselves and they need change. Because it starts showing up that even though like all the 6s and all the 7s and whatnot, and the 3s and so forth, they're all physically the same, they start to change. Their personalities shift around because of experience. So it brings in the philosophical question of, are you as you are born, or are you as you are in the act of creation as you move forward? Lots of stuff going on with, is there one god or multiple gods? The Cylons propagate the one god idea, whereas the humans are polytheistic. A cult starts to spring up in the humans, where they start worshiping the one god, and also really getting in with the Cylons. And Gaius Baltar is their prophet. Yeah. So, moving on. So after they get to Earth, they figure out that the place sucks, so they leave, and they start looking for other places. There's a big old fight in space, and it comes up on the sensors that there is another planet that they can live on. So the aggressive Cylon fleet attacks them, almost destroys the Galactica. A third of the population on the Galactica and the other ships is dead. So they take off for this new planet, and we see the view coming up over the moon. It's our Earth. So that's interesting. So they land on the planet, and they start looking around and go like, we could make a home here. And there's an indigenous population. We check their DNA. They're almost exactly like us. There's a couple of little distinctions. Maybe we can help them. So they ditch all of their technology, start homesteading, and they intermingle with the indigenous population. Cut to a title card, and 150,000 years later is now. So all of Battlestar Galactica takes place 150,000 years into the past. And the Cylons on Earth are not from this Earth, they're from another Earth, and we just started calling this planet Earth because reasons. Okay? So the humans and the Cylons interbreed together, create modern humans as a result, and Gaius and the hot blonde realize that everything just reperpetuates, and they now find it comical. And that would be the epilogue. Now, the continuation of the epilogue is growth in AI and robotics, saying that we're going to create the Cylons of the future here on Earth, which is just a repeat of the past. Yeah, some spoilers. Also, it's been out more than 10... It started 15 years ago. Where the hell have you been? Anyway, no, 20. So, here's my thoughts. Okay? I get that we're going for perpetuism. Okay? That is, it's happened before. It's going to happen again. And yes, you can put up all the blocks you want. It won't change things. You're partially correct. Okay? Yes, history does tend to repeat itself, but it doesn't repeat itself exactly. Okay? There's always a minor variation. Yes, the overall sweeps of history are pretty much exact, but the finer points is where we get differences, okay? There's always going to be an interplay between good and evil. There's always going to be an interplay between light and dark, etc., 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 okay? I hate to tell you, kids, but the universe is binary, okay? There's a plus and a minus. Neutral is both and neither, okay? There's a yin and a yang. Okay? It's the unity that matters, not the separation. Okay? And adding a bunch of other stuff inside of it is ridiculous. That's what they tried to do in the show, and they discovered that really did not work. Okay? Caused problems, and then it would eventually degrade into a binary system, just like always. Okay? So, they found peace once they unified. Now, a lot of people like to inject politics into their writing. And that is true regardless of whether or not you're writing a TV show, a book, a comic book, a game, whatever. That is going to happen. The trick is making it not heavy-handed and obvious. You can state your case, but the really good stuff leaves it open-ended for your audience to decide what you do or do not agree with. Okay? Battlestar Galactica kind of does that. Okay? Now, this came out height of the Terror Wars, moving into the Great Recession. Okay? That was the last season, I remember. I was there. And you can see stuff like that embedded in the way the plot behaves. There's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of subterfuge. There's a lot of is it or isn't it, okay? Is this beautiful person standing in front of me good or not, okay? Are they a spy? Are they actually here to hurt me? Are they my friend? I don't know. I can't tell, okay? So, with Battlestar, we see that good and evil is not necessarily black and white, okay? It's not, this side is good, this side is bad, okay? There's a lot of gray in between. See, at this time, because of the Terror War, interestingly, we start seeing a lot of gray morality, okay? That stuff like, do the ends justify the means? Is what is going on actually what is going on? Okay? That's also one of the reasons why it's on Prime right now. So, if you want, go ahead and check it out. Okay? I do recommend it. I'm actually planning on getting the whole series. Right now online for the DVDs, I believe they are $50. So feel free. I'm probably gonna. Just, getting the money together is all. So if you could, feel free to send me a super thank, I guess. Go a long way. So, thank you so much. I will be back later tomorrow morning. I will be doing a stream as I'm recording this. Today is Tuesday, and tomorrow is Wednesday, obviously. So I'll be doing a stream. And check out my links in the description, vimandvigorelli.com, books, merchandise, ghost tours, Chinese astrological readings. Instructions are there. No, I will not do an astrological reading without payment first. Okay? You don't work for free. I don't either. And I like it that way. Okay? Everything else, pretty easy to handle. Halloween's coming up. Go ahead and check out those ghost tours. I will be back later. You guys take care. Bye-bye.